Good morning.
Good morning.
So stick around after team meeting today. We do have our mastering negotiation and value assertion for realtors. This is our fear of free workshop. So something that we have heard from a lot of agents, and if I can be really honest, I've been surprised some of the agents that I've heard having this conversation. Because I've been surprised because they are skilled agents, they are experienced agents, they're agents that I would assume are poised and ready to take on this changed market as we move through the changes that are going to occur in August. But I've heard this conversation of I'm afraid I'm going to work for free. Do they expect me to work for free? This sounds like I'm going to be working for free. Some variation of that. And so if we can have a moment of full transparency and vulnerability, everybody just like look down at your table so that you can't see the people around you. And if you have had some level of conversation inside yourself that has said either, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to represent buyers for free now, or, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to never represent another buyer because I would have to do it for free. Will you please just raise your hand? And this is just for me, so look down at your desks and look at each other. All right, nobody is raising their hand, so that says to me that you are all poised and truly ready to move forward into this market, which excites me as long as you're not lying or being a little bit lazy and not wanting to raise your hand. So what I would ask is that as you look at this changed and changing market, that you put yourself in the buyer's shoes. And imagine that you are moving to another state or you are buying property in another state. Maybe this is going to be an investment and you are going to write a check to the agent in that state for $15,000 for representing you. If the agent that you were writing a check from your account, writing a check, sending them that much money, for $15,000, if they were presenting the same value that you present to your clients, if they were expressing it in the same way that you express the value to your clients, if they were articulating their value and preparing you for the process and sharing what it was they were going to do on your behalf, in the same way that you are doing right now, would you be confident and excited about writing them a $15,000 check? If you would, boom, keep doing what you're doing. If there would be any part of you that looks at it and goes, oh, well, if I really knew what the experience was going to be like, then yes, I'd be okay writing the $15,000 check. But with how I'm articulating that right now, if they were to articulate it to me in that way, I'd have some questions, I'd have some hesitations. That's the area that you need to be working on. If it is, if it's a question of, well, I'd not have a problem writing them a check, but I would probably try and figure out ways to do this part myself because I'm an agent, so I know how to handle these things. I don't need them to do that, so I would probably write them a check for less. That's a really good check-in for you to look at and say, okay, these are the things that your clients are going to be having that same conversation about. Your clients are likely to be looking at it and saying, you know, maybe they wouldn't say, well, I'm an agent, but they'd look at it and say, well, I'm an attorney, so I can handle these parts, so I only want to pay an agent for that part. Or, well, I'm pretty good at figuring these things out. I bought a few houses, so I'm going to do these parts. This is the part that I want to pay an agent for, and then I'm going to pay that. So use that check-in conversation for you to identify what are the objections that you need to be prepared to handle, where do you need to improve your articulation of your value, and where do you need to improve your value? For some of you, you are bringing value to the consumer that is absolutely worth every penny that they are spending for it, even if they haven't been aware for the last 30 years that really they've been paying for it. because can we all agree really the buyers have been paying for their commissions for all of the terms, right? For some of you, you need to get a little bit more in touch with what that value is that is worth that to the buyer. So for me, if I'm going to write a check for $15,000, it has to either protect me from something that I am more than $15,000 afraid of, or there has to be a return on that investment that is guaranteed such that I feel like I'm going to make $16,000 for having written that $15,000 check, and so then I'm comfortable writing. That's what makes me comfortable. So when I'm evaluating my buyer consultation, when I'm evaluating my value that I bring and how I articulate that, guess what the two things are that I'm really looking for. So checking with yourselves on that. We'll continue to workshop and work on this, and if this is something you want to work on today, come hang out with Lindsay and I, and that's what we'll be doing from 12:30 until 2. And then to continue that conversation, we will have our second value proposition for buyers workshop on the 23rd. Remember that this is the only other workshop that is being offered this month as part of our Value Squared workshops that we are inviting all agents to. Then the last Thursday of the month, we will have our Value Squared workshop that is focused on bundling and unbundling compensation. For that conversation, we request that it is KW Utah Realtors agents only, because by keeping that conversation within agents that are part of our brokerage, we can talk real numbers and real percentages. And then just so you know, quick announcement, there's a card that's being passed around. This has nothing to do with this slide, sorry. One of our own is battling cancer. Mel Bowers has been in treatment for a few months now. And so thank you to our amazing agents and ALC that have stepped up and supported her in lots of different ways. Her clients have sort of come out of the woodwork during this time, and she really can't do anything in working with them and taking care of them. So thanks to Lori and to Lisa and to other ALC members that have just given her that support that she needs. We are putting together a card and a gift to just let her feel a tangible expression of our love and support. So when that comes around, if you'll please sign up for that, that'd be great. We will be closed for Memorial Day on Monday. Have an amazing Memorial Day weekend. Take lots of pictures, post them, make us jealous. And then next week's team meeting, we will be back for our Best Practices of Top Agents series. So this will be a panel for the next our next team meeting training series. We're going to be going through and interviewing agents that are achieving at a high level in some aspect in our market right now. So in June, we have we'll have a conversation around the ROI on inclusivity. We will have some marketing conversations, some lead generation conversations, and this will be our first best practices panel. Is this the first?
Yes, it is.
Rainbow Talk. Okay, so Nate Sassy, if those of you who know him, he is the assistant team lead at our Salt Lake office. He has put together this real estate mastermind series. So this will be monthly. The first one is May 23rd, 5 to 7 p.m. at Gracie's. This is for LGBTQIA+ agents. It's a safe and inclusive place for them to mastermind. So if that applies to you, please know that you are welcome to come and join in this mastermind. We'd especially like your help in sharing this with agents that are not yet a part of Keller Williams. Because we are committed to being a safe and inclusive place for agents of all brokerages. And so this is a broker agnostic mastermind series. So if you know somebody who could benefit by participating in it, please get them the information.
And let me know if you do plan to go, because they kind of want a head count if possible. So let me know, please.
Zoom, if you couldn't hear Lindsay, she said, please let me know if you're going to be attending because they want a head count. And then let's just grab a mic for Lindsay. Will you talk a little bit about our Pride Festival and the opportunities for agents with that?
Yeah. Do you have the Google form out and ready?
Yeah.
In public?
Yeah.
Sent it out.
It should send this morning, it should have sent this morning, it was boomerang.
Okay, so Robin has created a Google form for signups. We have a booth at the Pride Festival on Saturday and Sunday, and the hours, I don't have them off the top of my head.
So on Saturday, it is 11 to 10, and on Sunday, it is 12 to 7.
Okay, so she's got, like 3-4 hour blocks on both of those days, and we'd love to have a handful of agents in each block. So please sign up, be a part of it.
Is it free to
What
sign
days
up,
are
or do
free?
you have to pay
So
for it?
we have wristbands. We have 10 wristbands for each day. So we should be able to get everybody in.
So the plan is to have 5 people on for each shift. That way we can have a couple of people at our actual booth, and then 3 people to just
Float,
float.
float and share the love.
Yes. And then if we have the 2 shifts, that will take up our 10 wristbands for each day. We'll have, t-shirts for those that are,
Yeah, we're gonna have swag
volunteering
and
at the
stuff to
booth.
hand out, just, and again, we're promoting inclusion in the Keller Williams family. That's not to say that you're not gonna have some one-on-one conversations, and maybe that will lead to something bigger and better for you personally, but yeah, our whole mission is to just promote the inclusive nature of our company, so.
And then, I heard someone ask, what day is the parade? That is Sunday morning. correct?
Sunday at 10 a.m. is the parade. So, yeah, the festival doesn't start till 11. because of-
So you'll be at the booth, earlier in the morning before the parade, getting it set
No.
up?
Well, I mean, I go to a meeting today, this afternoon, it's
Oh.
a mandatory festival meeting, and I'll get all of those details, but they'll make us sign up for a time that we actually set up. So they don't have everybody there all at once trying to set things up, so those will be in time increments. You might need some help.
And this is also a little bit, this is separate from the concert that's
Yes,
going on, right?
Concert is next by, so stay
Okay.
tuned.
Trying to celebrate as much as possible.
Okay.
We love to celebrate. So, if you will, when you get that Google form, if you will indicate if it's something you're interested in volunteering for, which shifts you would be available, you can mark all of them. We will not put you on all of them, but if you'll just mark it with your availability. This is going out to all 3 market centers, and then we will put together volunteer teams for the different shifts. And then once Lindsay is clear about, what we need as far as setup and tear down, then we'll reach out to those volunteers and work those details out. All right, slide next. Oh, just kidding, concerts after this one. So, our annual Pride potluck is back. That will be June 13th at the home of Ashley Lindsay. This will be from 5 to 8 p.m. Open to all agents. You're welcome to bring your families. It's a family-friendly, fun, potluck dinner. And hopefully we'll have great weather for it. And then the Pride Music Party. Lindsay, you want to talk about this?
Sure, I don't know where to begin, but if you don't come, you're gonna have serious FOMO. I can start there.
That is where to begin, yes.
This is $30 a ticket. We have VIP options available, but it's kind of a revue style concert where you'll bring your chairs, your food, your drinks. Unless you're VIP, that will be provided for you. We are looking for sponsorships because all of what is raised is going to Encircle. And if you're not familiar with that, it's an incredible organization, and I encourage you to look at it.
We have a big, hairy, audacious goal to raise $10,000 for Encircle. I have to say that out loud publicly where it's being recorded so that I stay connected to our goal. Having sponsorships to cover the operating costs of this event will help us achieve that. And so the really great thing about this sponsorship opportunity is that this is open to those kind of preferred vendors that we work with in our real estate lives, but there will be people from all walks of life and all different industries attending this concert. So this would be a great sponsorship opportunity if you have somebody in your database that owns a business of any type. It doesn't have to be real estate related, for them to get involved and for you to be able to give them the chance to be branded and promoted in the community. So this is a great SOI call for sponsorship. Great if you have significant other that has a business or someone in your family that has a business that would be served by having this inclusive branding and exposure. And then the same thing with the tickets, that to promote this event is another reason to reach out to us. Why it's a great SOS.
QR code. Start buying your tickets. This is
Right now.
open, we're expecting about 200 people to come, and I don't think it's gonna be hard with the entertainment that is coming. Sister Wives, if any of you have heard of them, they're incredible, and they've kind of just come out of the woodworks again. Mona Stevens is the lead on that, so she used to work with Keller Williams. She brought a huge crowd. And then my dearest friend, Ginger and the Gents, is also a huge crowd pleaser. So it was a struggle to figure out who's gonna open for who. Still is, actually, but, and more. There's gonna be a DJ, it's just gonna be super fun. Lots of games, cornhole, axe throwing, plastic axes.
Lost me there.
Send us those graphics yet?
No, but they will go out attached to the recap email today.
And then if we mark it to our sphere, does that normally, like when we do our events, we keep it a closed group? Any objection to it being just an open post in this particular instance?
No, where this requires tickets, blast away. Yeah, no risk in that of people showing up that.
And although KW Utah Realtors is putting this on, it's open, and other market centers are gonna have posters up in their offices too, so
Okay.
that's why I don't feel like it's gonna be hard to sell out.
And we are limiting, like, we're capping it at a certain number.
200 tickets, we walked the property and are comfortable that that's how many we can have there without being too packed in.
And there's only 10 VIPs available, so.
Yeah. And then you can get posters. You may have seen the posters up around the market center. If there's somewhere that you'd like to post that, let us know and we'll get you a poster, which as many as you'd like. Because again, $10,000 is the goal.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, coming soon. Who has listings coming soon that they are excited to share?
Got a,
Sorry.
have a new listing coming up in Tooele, probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're gonna be somewhere between 360 to 380. Just short of 1,900 square feet and 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Other coming soon. Coco, Lisa.
My Murray one down the private lane is finally getting listed this next week. Yes. Around 890 and over 3,000 square feet, completely private backyard. It's a really unique property. So walkout basement, potential for another one down there. Reach out to me.
Fantastic.
So the condo that I mentioned a couple weeks ago is going live tomorrow. It's in Mill Creek, 1 bed, 1 bath, 680 square feet, just real cute. We're gonna do an open house on Saturday, and it's gonna go between 240 and 250.
Wow, that's a good price.
Story in the back.
Bring me somebody.
Job for that, between 240 and 250.
Yeah.
That does sound like going, gone to me.
I have a really cute sugar house listing hitting the market probably the first week in June. It's about just under 1,800 square feet. Can't remember the exact address, like 20 something south and 1,800 east. The yard is amazing. The neighborhood is amazing. It's been redone, hardwood floors, new kitchen, new baths. Anyway, really cute little bungalow. So, and we'll be, I don't know, 750 to 775-ish.
Great. Going once, going twice, moving on. Congratulations, we were back in double digits for this last week, the listings taken. So congratulations to Lori Gee with 2 listings, Mary Notham, Yadi Vasquez with 2 listings, Mike Teslop, Cameron Burnside, Joe Reardon, and Gary Sedwell, Abigail Mulady with 3 listings, and Jordan Larson. Huge round of applause. Makes my heart sing when we have double-digit listing weeks, just so y'all know. And then Best of State. So the awards gala is this week for Best of State. So keep an eye on social media. We'll have posts that you can share celebrating our accomplishment with being named Best of State once again. And then if you have not yet downloaded these graphics, please follow those directions. Make sure that you are using this in your promotional materials. Again, this is an award that you have won. As Keller Williams agents, you are the reason that we are awarded best of state, and so you should get to take all of that credit and have the value and benefit of having that proof of success with your clients. Okay, we have the May birthdays. If you were here last week, you saw that we tried to repeat the sneaky April birthdays, tried to get sung to a second time, but we caught it in time. So, first of all, happy anniversary to Alex, Chase, Christine, Davinia, Edgar, Robert, Yadi, Jeff, Christopher, Haley, Karen, me, Goran, Amy, Emily, Terry, Boyd, and Greg. We are so happy to be in business with all of you and so grateful that you are part of the Keller Williams world. 21 years. Very impressive. All right, then I am gonna turn off my microphone, so y'all had better sing very loudly. We're gonna do the happy birthdays, and we will go first names, top to bottom like that. All right, we ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Carol Miguel. Go Carrie, Patricia, Heidi, Amber, Landon, Sarah, Matt, Johnny, Wendy, Thomas, Katja, Jordan, Dempsey, and Phoenix. Happy birthday to you. Round of applause for yourself. Y'all, that was sad. It's a great happy birthday to Sally. All right, April awards. Congratulations to agents who capped in the month of April. We have Vanya, Jonah, and Amanda, who all capped. Huge round of applause. And if you are here, please make sure that you get your capper cube. If they're not here, please congratulate them when you see them and make sure that they see us at the front for their capper cube. Vanya, you're here. Come get your capper cube.
Yeah, Vanya!
Huge round of applause for Vanya. This is such a milestone in the Keller Williams world, and something that we really celebrate because we want you to get to 100% of your commissions as quickly as possible. And so I know, like for Amanda, this was her first time capping. She was our rookie of the year last year and reached her cap. Our goal for Amanda for next year will be for her to reach that cap a month faster. And then the year after that, a month faster than that. And so congratulations to those of you who have reached that milestone this year. And if this is something that you are working on, remember that we have our Path to Capping Mastermind that's headed up by Shauna and Eladio. And that would be a great opportunity for you to work with agents that consistently cap and make sure that you've got the game plan in place so that you can accomplish that as well. All right, our top listings taken for the month of April. We have Cameron Burnside, Ashley Lindsay tied with 5 units, and then Jordan McQueen at 4 units. We're gonna do the 1, 2, 3 clap. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. And then for teams, Joe Reardon with 8 units. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. And then contracts written. So we have a three-way tie with 5 units between Ashley Lindsay, Dana Conway, and Jordan McQueen. 1, 2, 3. Will you think on that? You want to sing off? Okay. And then Laura, you had 4 units. 1, 2, 3. And then, oh, no, I didn't look to the bottom. I thought that was teams. Sorry. We're gonna bring back Lori's top. We're gonna say Lori D and Michael Hessop both with 4 units. 1, 2, 3. And then Rachel Ray Eliason and Cameron Burnside each have 3 units. Okay. All right, and then for teams, we have Karen Hansen with 4 units, Joe Reardon with 4 units, Jonah Gamboa with 3.65 units, and Ruben Gomez with 3 units. 1, 2, 3. Contracts closed, sounds like payday. Congratulations to Michael Hessop with 5. Rachel Ray Eliason with 4, Dana Conway with 4, Jesus Valdesvino with 3, Jordan McQueen with 3, and Cameron Contracts closed for team members, Ruben Gomez had 5, Joe Reardon 4.5, Lori Gee 4, Jonah Gamboa 3.95, and Karen Hansen 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. And then our $1 Million Month Award winners. So this is, these are our agents who had a month with $1 million or more in volume closed. Cameron Burnside, Dana Conway, Jonah Gamboa, Lori Gee, Ruben Gomez, Karen Hansen, Michael Heslop, Jordan McQueen, Joe Reardon, Jesus Valespino, Shauna Winters, and Rachel Ray Eliason. We're going to do just a full round of applause for them. And then congratulations to our House of Excellence Award winners. So these are agents who either took a listing that was over $1 million in list price or closed a transaction, a single transaction that was over $1 million. So Danielle Leonardo, Joe Reardon, Cameron Burnside, Lori Gee, Ruben Gomez, and Karen Hansen. And before we move on from here, will you give the mic back to Lori? So Lori, as a House of Excellence Award winner, and Lori was, the Gee Group was our #1 group for luxury last year, sitting right next to Senor Luxury, Eladia Serrano. What are you seeing in the luxury market space right now for agents that are wanting to work with this price point? What suggestions, tips do you have for them?
Oh, goodness. Well, interestingly, in the luxury market, I feel like there's a price point because I've had a buyer looking like 1.5 to 1.8 as well. And if they're priced right, they're moving quickly and for cash, which I think 2 of my 3 listings over $1 million did sell for cash. So, but they still have to be priced right. I would say, spend the money on videos, on buying sponsored ads on social media, working the neighborhood, working your sphere of influence. I really work agents, also the luxury agents, call them, invite them. Everybody knows I always do a themed open house. I usually try and do that along with the real tour and do a public open house as well, just to get as much traction as possible. Right now, I have 3 listings about the same price point, 1.1 to 1.3. And 2 of them hit the market last week, and honestly struggling a little bit this week. I feel like it for me, it slowed down a little bit this week. So it'll take some reevaluating on those listings, but I think just marketing them and then knowing who your luxury agents are and marketing to them as well.
So making sure that you're pricing it right and being clear that at all price points, that is a critical issue. Making sure that you've got a really strong open house strategy and or launch. So you include the realtor, a public facing open house, a broker open, and Lori does kill it on those themes. She says that, you all know, and that's true. And when someone can say, well, I'm known for this, like that's branding. And that makes it so that people are actually attending her open houses, her broker opens. So if that's not a strategy you have in place, definitely talk to Lori about that, or attend when she does the best practices on open houses, broker opens especially. Make sure that you're leaning into that. And then knowing your luxury agents, building those relationships, making sure that you're marketing to the right avatar. And that's true for clients and for agents. And then as far as what you're seeing in the market, a little bit of a slowdown this week, but 2 of your last 3 listings at this price point sold cash. Do they when they have cash buyers in their properties? Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious if I was the only one. All right, well, thank you for being so gracious and sharing that information. All right, congratulations to our agents that had their first closing. Arun Bhatta, Danielle Leonardo, and Wendy Laughlin. 1, 2, 3. And for Danielle, that's first closing with Keller Williams because she did consist for another brokerage. But for Arun and Wendy, that's their first closing of all time. So when you see them, be sure that you are congratulating them. And then congratulations to Ethan Ogden, who had his first listing. 1, 2, 3. All right. Crimson Club. So the Crimson Club is an award that we acknowledge both within our market center and then across our Salt Lake County offices. And so this takes into account listings taken, contracts and closings, as well as the volume and sort of ranks and creates these rewards. The reason that I love the Crimson Club Award, even though I'm going to be very honest, I don't love that I get asked questions about exactly how it works, then I don't necessarily understand the exact how things are weighted. So please don't ask me after team meeting. I will talk to Amy McMullen, who pulls this award for us, and have her give a great explanation. But the reason that I do love it is that this awards the behavior that creates sustainability in your business. When I see an agent that gets a top closings award, but isn't on the board for contracts and listings taken, what I know that they're experiencing in their business is some degree of this up and down. And the Crimson Club is awarding that you are closing your business that you worked on 30, 60, 90, 120 days ago. You are taking new listings, so you are securing your future, and you are writing contracts. So congratulations to those agents that are achieving that sustainability in their business. And so for the month of April, Jordan McQueen, Cameron Burnside, and Ashley Lindsay were our top 3 for Crimson Club individual. Let's give them a huge round of applause. And then for teams, the David Gomez team, Search Utah Homes, and Cockabella Real Estate Group were our top 3 for team. And then for groups, Bustos and Reardon, Gamboa Group, and Jupiter were our top 3 for groups. And Lisa, will you share just a little bit about how you create that sustainability in your business? I know that you work with kind of lists, and that's how you track your pipeline. I can't remember the number, 10.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no. Will you share just a little bit about that?
So it's, can I use the whiteboard?
Come on up, that'd be great.
All right, when I started doing this, it really made a difference in realizing where my business was coming from. So it's gonna be really sloppy and quick, but I have a 10 by 10, which is not a call thing, but then I have a section with listings and with buyers. And then label them down to 10 and on. And then I have my kind of super one list. So with all the names over here. And if I have somebody who I feel like has raised their hand and is getting to that point where they're going to be ready, where I believe that they're going to be closing within a year, I will add them where appropriate on my list. So if I find that I've got 4 buyers and I have less for 8 buyers and I only have 4 listings on my coming soon 10 by 10, then it helps me to be able to really understand that I need to be focusing as well on those listings. And since doing this, like I have increased my listing count to buyer unbelievably. And I think it's just because I'm aware of where I was lacking before. So if I was heavy on buyers, then I needed to really put my mindset and focus on listings. And then now I feel like sometimes I get heavy on listings and I'm like, I need some buyers for some quicker move around, turnaround right here while my listings are getting ready. Anyway, it's just helped me with my focus.
I love that. Thank you. Huge round of applause.
Ask a question. Lisa, where do you keep, is that on a board in your office? Is it a piece of paper that you keep? Where is it?
I started on a whiteboard and then I wanted to be able to look at it no matter where I was working, whether I was here at the office or at home. So I just have a Word doc. And then what I've started doing is over the years, I now have it, and I need to change it to Excel so I can do it in tabs, but I've just moved it down. And then I also added a section where once I close, I know where that referral, where that business was coming from? Was it a lender referral? Was it a past client, an SOI referral? So I've started adding things to that. And then as I'm looking at quarterly, so I keep adding, so it just gets a little crowded unless you have a giant whiteboard that's just dedicated to this, which would be great if you're in the office every day or have a space for that. But I just do it on a Word doc right now where I have how many I need to close within a quarter as well. So if I'm breaking down how many listings or how many closings I want in a year, so I have quarter one, quarter two up at the top of it. And then if I finish off a quarter and I've only closed 8 out of 12, well, now I know that I need to close even more to make up for my lack on the previous quarter. So I just keep kind of adding, and then I shift it so the previous year I can look back on that and say, okay, this is what I did last year. How am I going to use that to set my position?
All right, and then across Salt Lake County, Annie Cannon was first place for individual, Jared Hanson was second, and our very own Jordan McQueen placed in the full county, so huge round of applause for Jordan. And then for teams, Emily Hayes was, Stern. The Stern team was in first place, Emily Hayes comes in second, and Bustos and Reardon group, and then for teams, Marui and Favero, I don't know what that logo is for, and Mason Holmes. So congratulations to them, although they're not with our brokerage group. So very happy for them. All right. Today's lunch sponsor, if you want to come up and share some information with us about who you are, they clearly have a good fan.
Well, we love you guys, it's family.
Welcome back.
Or
For
do you
the
need to present any other tips down here, like
the clickers right there.
It's gonna stand right there, I guess it's all on me. And clicker is here. Figure out how this one
Is
works.
everyone here okay?
Can you hear me?
We couldn't hear them.
Here in the back? All those who are thinking this is a home warranty thing, wake up, because it's not home warranty, okay? I got your attention? All right. One Home Solution, we are glad to be a part of One Home Solution. How many, being in the real estate professional, have ever asked from your friends, SOI, past client, current client, hey, who do you know that can fix, repair, service, or maintain something? Yeah, I bet almost all of us have. So when that happens, what do? How do you get your contractors, if you will? Going in and finding home maintenance and repair people, sourcing those, got a lot of options. How many have had a great success with a lot of them? Not too many, I would gather. You ever try calling them? How many of them ever call you back? Then when they do call you back, what happens there? Like you're waiting to see, well, we'll have a technician maybe next Thursday between 10 and 5. All you guys can sit at home between 10 and 5, right? Got somebody you can babysit the house? Yeah. Well, then they don't always show up, right? Oh, got too long, we'll come by Friday. It never worked. That's the part that's frustrating when you're trying to schedule these guys to come out and do just simple things of like home maintenance, repairs, handyman type services. So that process is really frustrating and sometimes kind of can be confusing, okay? So how do we come into play? Well, welcome to One Home Solution. What is One Home Solution? We are the people that make home maintenance, service, and repair a whole bunch easier. Nobody does it like what we do in the platform that we do it. Nobody in the country. This is a locally owned company that came up with this thing and it's been pushing forward and we've been having fabulous success with it. So, what is it? We are an app-enabled full-service home maintenance plan to help homeowners skip the headaches and the rising costs of independent contractors and job boards, especially if you have that task list. How do we do that? Well, we do it by, the difference is, all of our One Home Service technicians that do the handyman type services are prorated at $70. In other words, there's no service charge to come up, there's no minimum. So let's take that GFI outlet. If you had a GFI outlet that needed to be replaced, how much would it cost to hire an electrician or somebody to come and do that? They'd say that's too small, I need a service charge, you're gonna pay 150, 200, 250 bucks to come and change that out, correct? So if they came out and they were only there for, one of my guys come out, they're only there for a half an hour, you pay $35 plus whatever the charge for the GFI outlet is. Would that be of value?
Yeah.
Absolutely, okay, but let me back up. Task list management, how many would like to get 4 or 5 people to do 4 or 5 things, like the plumbing, small electrical, some contracting, some of the other things like that? Nobody wants to try to coordinate that all into that one day that you took off to have this done, right? We can handle your task list, anything inside and outside of the home. Okay, literally. Save you time and money because we have this awesome way of scheduling, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute. 100% guaranteed on all the work. So, this is our app. We are app-based. If you have an Apple, go on the back of your thing on the front there, in front of you. There's a QR code that you can download our app, whether you have an Android or an Apple. You download that, that'll get you into it. What it looks like, this is literally how it works. If this is running, which is not. Literally, you can go on there, you can request what you want done. You can even take a picture or video on your phone so we can see it. Go to the calendar, literally schedule the day and the hour. It locks my technician for that day and hour to come to your home, down to the hour. Okay? So, with that, these are some of the things, these are just some top things that we do, just an idea of what they do. I mean, how many have ever tried to hang an 86-inch television by yourself? Does it look like this when you're done? Okay, everything seasonal, house and spa, house cleaning, pool and spa, winter prep stuff, cleaning the leaves out of the dryer, all those things, okay? With that, just part of the perk, part of being the membership, do these 4 quarterly services, 4 different seasonal services coming from a home warranty with which more people did. So all of this is included in the membership. We literally supply the HVAC filters. We replace all your HVAC filters. We literally refill your water softener with salt. We bring the salt, okay? Down here, we change your smoke detector batteries. We supply the batteries for the smoke detector. Okay, then there's so much other stuff that we do in there that just gives you that peace of mind. Over here in the summer, flush your water heater. Talking your standard one, not your tankless. Tankless are a different animal. I just want to be upfront with that. But your standard water heater, even though you have a whole house filtration, water softener, you still get sediment in it. If you're not flushing that, servicing it once a year, your 40 or 50 gallon is starting to get smaller. You guys understand that? We have some crazy water here in Utah. The dryer vent, clean your dryer vent. Not the one that your sock gets lost in the lint trap. I'm talking about the one that actually goes out of the house. Okay, that needs to be cleaned. There's so much of this that we do. That's included for being the membership. Now you're going, well, how much is this gonna cost, right? How much is it? Well, before I get to that, since I'm new with this program, starting, if you sign up today, you don't have to pay today, okay? You don't pay. You just sign up. Customer service care is gonna call you to schedule what we do in onboarding on your time, okay? What they do at that onboarding, they're gonna do an on-site, observatory. They're gonna look at all of your appliances. They're gonna check your smoke detectors, how many batteries they need, what size your HVAC filter is, so that they'll have that on board. Whether or not you have a water softener, so we bring enough salt, plus more. Then at the onboarding, they're gonna go through a bunch of stuff. They're gonna teach you how to use the phone app. They're gonna go do all that sort of thing when they come out and help you schedule that first quarterly maintenance service, depending on where we are in the summer, or the season, should I say. Then that first appointment, you're gonna get your seasonal maintenance, and then anything else that you wanna do around the house, you can start requesting a quote or schedule to have that done. So, let's see if we can get into the cost. Well, before we get there, who can benefit? Come on, we could all use that. We all got a list of homes that need to be done that nobody wants to do, or when we finally get that day off, we don't want to deal with it.
Think about the new clients moving in town that don't know who to call. Perfect. Your elderly clients that don't want to get up the ladder. I mean, I'm 52, I don't.
I got one for my mom. She has no business being on a ladder or step stool, let alone that 40-pound bag of salt going down to the basement, just changing bulbs. Or hanging the ceiling fan. So many things that could be used. So who could use it? Well, a lot of people could use it. Almost every homeowner. Think of a closing gift. Awesome closing gift. Listings. How many people have a list that needs to be done before they sell their house? quite a few. After that inspection, they go, who can fix these things on the inspection? Sellers, when they move into the home, or buyers, when they move into the house, they all have things that they either have a touch-up paint because dad brought the refrigerator in and gouged out the drywall, right? Okay, all those things, sellers and buyers all have that list. So, here we are, the cost. Normally, if you find us online, we're $49 a month or $500 a year. But I wanna bring value to you as real estate agents. This is where we add value. If you get them to if you refer us, have them put your name in the referral code, we'll give them $100 off. So it's $400 a year. That includes those 4 quarterly services. That alone is worth $800 to $1,500 if you had to hire somebody to do all that. Okay? So $100 off just for being a real estate agent, just for referring us, and just for them putting your name is a great soft nut to come back with them on. But, everybody still with me? Still not a home warranty, right? Okay, just checking. We are trying to get people to be more involved and understand what we're doing. If I can get 3 of you people to sign up today, you don't have to pay today. If I can get at least 3 or more, I will do it for $250 for the year. That includes all 4 quarterly services.
Going till the end of the day.
Okay? So if you will go and download the app or go to onehomesolution.com and click join, just join. Okay? You don't have to pay for it today. Put in the referral code, KW Utah. We know what that one is, right? KW Utah 250. Don't worry if it's a forward or backslash. I don't care. Just put KW 250. I will sell it to you for $250, and I don't care if it's for you. Father's Day coming up, and as a father who does both my own maintenance, I would love to have somebody come and do both of it for me, okay? So there's an idea there as well. If you have a neighbor or a past client or a current client, I don't care. Sign up today, lock in the rate, take it for $250, and understand it. Now going forward, it's gonna be $400, but it's still $100 savings just for having to put your name. Okay.
Coco just joined up. Tell us your experience, darling.
Oh, I'm so glad I did.
We're running the microphone.
Okay. So I signed up, with these guys after Corey was here last time, and, just as a single mom, I just need stuff around the house to be done, and I work hard, and I don't wanna do that stuff, and I have really tall storage shelves in my garage, and I don't have a tall enough ladder to get up there, and so I called these guys, and they came out and they put all my, Enrique, he put all my stuff up on the shelves, cleared out all this room in my garage. He put up, brackets in my garage so I could put all my open house signs, my chairs, like, just all this stuff, like, off the floor of my garage. It just looks so big. I can park my cars in there. I just am super happy so far with the service. And then he also did the spring maintenance, and so he had his little filter when he got there, and he filled up my salt bin, and he cleaned all the vents. Like, it was rad. So highly recommend.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, sir. If you want to, if you can't see the screen on those 4 quarterly services, in the second page of your brochure in front of you, it's got all 4 seasons listed there, so you can kind of look.
If I, pay for this, for a listing, can it transfer to the buyer?
Yes, if they live in our service area, or excuse me, for a seller transferring to the buyers, yes, you just need to let us know so we can change the name and give them access to our app.
Gotcha. So say I take listing, we pay for the yearly or whatever it is.
Right.
We had you come in, do whatever maintenance to get the property ready for list, go, we sell, we can transfer the remainder of that maintenance plan to the new buyer.
That is perfect for what it is, because it's not a warranty, so we're not warranting anything in it. We're just offering the service and the seasonal. So yes, it's very easy to transfer over from sellers to the buyers. Sellers, if they move to, it can also be transferred if they move to within our service area. So our service area, so in other words, if they want to take it with them,
Right.
they can still do that. So we cover all of Utah, Salt Lake, Weaver, Davis, up into Wasatch, Park City, Heber, Camas area. And then we're all down in Maricopa County in Phoenix, Arizona, and we just opened up Orange County, California. So we are kind of expanding, but that's kind of where we are in Utah right now. Unfortunately, we're not quite in the St. George and we're not quite into Tooele. But if you give me at least, I think, what, 5 more houses?
I need 5 more.
With 5 more houses, I can open up in Tooele.
So,
I know it, right?
so next quick question, so annual membership carries the seasonal maintenance and then $70 an hour for any.
So, yeah, so the maintenance is all included. If
Right.
you have outside, like what she is
Right.
talking about doing, then it's prorated at $70 an hour. And if it's something that's outside of the scope of what our techs can do, we also have a large network of vetted people that would come in. It'd be a little bit different pricing on that. But you're not having to source a bunch of different contractors.
And we give estimate for free.
Do you have window washers?
We do window washing as well.
On the cleaning, can you handle Airbnb type stuff?
On the cleaning, can you handle Airbnb stuff? That's the question.
Yeah, Airbnb stuff. To a point, yes. It kind of depending on scheduling and that sort of thing, but yeah, absolutely, we can try and work on. You have any?
I would
comments?
say if I have an Airbnb, so I know in advance when my checkouts are.
Yeah.
So I would just go in the app for the next month and just try to get that scheduled.
Right.
Get a request and tell them what your schedule is.
Very much overlap with your guys. How many techs do you have working for you?
We have 4 now here in Utah.
So, yeah, it's
It's growing.
been
We're
enough,
hiring
it's
more,
growing.
and it's really hard to find good techs.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
So we
That's why I
still have, we still have quite a few that are, we're able to handle all of the things coming in right now. I had one agent that gave me 42 of his rental properties, and it gave him peace of mind that at least on the 4 quarterly services, that was being done, and that it also gave him a 1-point contact for doing any other things within the home or outside of the home. Now, I will say that we are not an emergency service.
Right.
So we're Monday through Friday, but we can help with a lot of those things, the maintenance, service, and repair type of thing. We're not that major water leak at Saturday night at 2 o'clock in the morning type of thing. But with that being said, at 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, when you're thinking about needing to get something done, you literally can go on the phone and schedule it instead of waiting for Monday to try to call in.
Thanks, so we'll be in the back. I know
We'll be in the back.
Thank you so much for being here.
We're turning back to your normal scheduled program.
So for the last few minutes, we have, Coco has agreed to, talk with you about seller financing. This is a request that came from our broker, Lindsay, because it sounds like there's been a lot of questions, coming through to her about seller financing. And this is something that Coco is an expert in, has just, done training on. And so very last minute, she agreed to share this. So Coco, thank you for your willingness and flexibility.
Like
and
5
sharing
minutes
your
before
expertise.
meeting.
Yeah, like when we say last minute, it was, Lindsay said, hey, can we get Coco on the schedule soon to teach about this? And I said, I think we can work it into today. So, yeah, take it over here. I'm gonna give you this mic so you can have hands free.
And we're gonna be seeing so much more seller financing, creative financing, so please pay attention, because you're gonna come across this, I guarantee it.
This is gonna be like super very broad, because I know we don't have a ton of time, but I wanted to at least give you guys, just a little taste. So, just to get an idea of what you guys know, I'm not an expert, by the way, BT Dubs, not an expert, but I have done many deals with seller financing. I own my own I own one of my rentals is own seller financing. I bought it on seller financing. So who in the room is familiar or has heard of some type of seller financing? Okay, so who has not? And just so I can get an idea of who we're talking to. Okay, so you will hear seller finance, you will hear installment sale, owner finance. It's basically when the owner of the property finances a portion or all of the property to the buyer. So there's no bank included in the transaction. We use this strategy a lot with our clientele. We work with a lot of the Latino population, and some of them can't qualify for a traditional loan. So we work with them and we do, these different options with them. Okay, so there are 3 different types of seller financing. The first one is a promissory note. And trust deed. The second one is called all-inclusive. And that's also with the trust deed. And the third one is contract for deed. So I'm just gonna go over real quick the difference between these and what the advantages and disadvantages are. So if you have a promissory note, this is the best. Like, this is the ideal. If you can find a property that is paid off and the owner is willing to finance it for you, this is the ideal scenario, because there's no risk involved. There's really no risk. It's just a matter of that owner financing. And all of the terms are negotiable between buyer and seller. So there's no bank saying, this is the interest rate. This is how long your loan is. All of the terms, the interest rate, the down payment, the life of the loan, it's all negotiated between buyer and seller. So that's your ideal. All-inclusive trust deed. This is when you're going to take over. Some of you may have heard of sub 2 or subject to. You're taking over the loan subject to, you're taking over the property subject to the existing loan in place. So there is an underlying mortgage on the property and you're just taking over the loan. Okay, so I'm gonna borrow a couple of you, Tana, Lisa, Lindsay, come up here first, just a sec. So this, if there's an all-inclusive trust deed, okay, we're gonna say, Lindsay's the bank, okay? Tana is the seller. Tana has a loan with the bank of Lindsay, but Lisa wants to purchase the property from Tana, okay? So she has created, an agreement with the bank, and there's a risk involved with the all-inclusive trust deed that does not exist in the first one because there's no underlying mortgage. When Tana gets the note or gets the loan from Lindsay, what has Tana promised that this won't happen? She has promised that the title won't change, that she's gonna be on the title, that the title's gonna stay in her name. So Tana has this agreement with the bank. But then Lisa comes and she's like, hey, Tana, I wanna buy your property. And Tana's like, oh, well, I have this agreement with the bank. And Lisa's like, it's okay. I'm gonna take over the payments of your loan. And, as long as the bank's getting their money, usually they don't care who's making the payment. Okay, so Lisa takes over the payments that Tana has to the bank. Bank of Lindsay is still getting her money. Usually what happens is, let's say it's a $500,000 house, there's $400,000 left on the loan, and Tana says, well, I at least need my equity. So she would say, Lisa, give me $100,000 down payment, and you can then take over those payments, and then she makes those payments to the bank. Yes.
That has to be an assumable loan.
It's not assumable.
It's not
Nope.
assumable.
This is different than an assumable. Yep, so there's no, if you're assuming a loan, you're getting qualified with the bank for that. There's no bank involved on this transaction. Yeah, well, there is, but between the buy and the sell, there's no bank. Yeah.
On a setup like that, do you need to worry about certain triggers that might notify the bank that
Yes.
possession is?
Yes. What would one of those triggers be? One of the main triggers, insurance, right? So what Lisa would say is, yes, I'm gonna give you your $100,000 in equity. I'm gonna ask you, Tana, to add me on as an additional insured to your policy. So her policy stays in place. Lisa's added on as an additional insured, which then doesn't red flag the bank because you're just adding on an additional insured. That's not like a huge red flag, okay? But typically, if the Bank of Lindsay is continuing to receive their money, her money, is she gonna care? Is the bank in the business of taking properties back? No, they're not in the business of owning homes and foreclosing on properties. Okay, yes,
We have a big issue with doing sales.
yes, so that is one of the risks when you get into these two, options, the due on sale clause. So that's what she has promised won't happen, the title won't change. Okay, but when Lisa buys the property, title's gonna be put into her name. What if Lisa creates a business and Tana's last name is Barker? So what if Lisa creates a business and it's, Barker Enterprises LLC? And then the bank sees that and they're like, oh, well, okay, it's just a business that this, that this borrower has, and they're putting they're putting title, they're titling it in that business name. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so that's how it would work if you're doing an all-inclusive trust deed. Yes, there is risk, but the risk is minimal, and there are ways to combat that. As for example, the adding the additional insured. Okay, thank you, lady. The last one real quick before we scooch out of here, contract for deed. Contract for deed is, I would say, very beneficial if you're selling the property on contract for deed. We don't oftentimes recommend it if our buyers are looking to purchase on contract for deed. Why? Because title doesn't transfer to the buyer. So in this case, Lisa would only be purchasing an interest on the property. She would not be getting, the title would not be transferred to her name. So there are some big risks when it comes to contract for deed, because if you're, let's say Tana's the seller, and Lisa's the buyer, what if, and Lisa only has an interest in the property, she doesn't have actual title. What happens if the seller, for example, passes away in the transaction? And then the heirs of Tana's property come in and say, oh, this is our house, this is our property that we just inherited. And Lisa's like, no, like I bought this is my property. She now might have to fight for her right to actually
Property.
to party. I know. Yes. That's funny. I love all y'all. Okay, so there are so contract for deed, you just have to be, very careful, especially if you're on the buy side of that. Sometimes it makes sense. But it can be great if you're on the sell side of it. I know this was a lot. Questions?
Thank you so much.
Okay, that is all.
Thank you, and I think this could be a great next meeting topic to go through more, because I think you're absolutely right, we are going to continue to
I
see
think
a
we're
lot.
gonna try and do some extra classes on this because you can see how complicated it can get, so. Thank you. Enjoy your lunch.
Enjoy lunch. We'll be back here for your